step to me and wouldn't let me go. Kept shaking and baking, but you wouldn't let me say no. Cause I was hurt real bad, couldn't be more sad. I tried to run, and still I couldn't make you mad. Well, that's the action you took, you stood correctly. Every time I got in the mix, you would protect me. I can't handle this, you're like a freaking nature to me. One of a kind, and it happens oh so naturally. It's been so long since I've seen it, maybe I'm just dreaming. I've been down, I've been down, I've been down. It's been so long since I've seen it, maybe I'm just dreaming. I've been down, I've been down, I've been down. And I'm glad to be a part of it. Just to remind you, I take you back to the start of it. It's like you're a sniper and you're happy in your sights, like a technical knockout on Tuesday night fights. You're the best, girl, I love you to death, until my heart stops beating or I take my last breath. It's critical to let you know how different you are. My life's a sitcom and you're the star. It's been so long since I've seen it, maybe I'm just dreaming. I've been down, I've been down, I've been down. It's been so long since I've seen it, maybe I'm just dreaming. I've been down, I've been down, I've been down. I nearly gave it up, I nearly lost my mind. Until you arrived, until you arrived. I nearly gave
Hello, Mrs. Tambourine, you just don't understand. Asked if we could ever be friends again. Hello, Mrs. Tambourine, oh baby, don't you cry. Just because I'm not with you all the time. And I still see the twinkles in your eyes. Saw your name wrapped in clouds in the sky. Familiar signals are all dressed in white. And I wonder if I'll ever be fine. Hello, Mrs. Tambourine, you made things such a mess. Getting kicked out of bars at 12 a.m. Hello, Mrs. Tambourine, there's no need to aggress. Don't you yell and scream at all my friends. But I can't let you inside my heart, even after we both grew apart. And I can't forget the things that you've done. And I wonder if I'll ever be one. My heart out, then you left, torn to pieces while I was out on my own. Hello, Mrs. Tambourine, there's nothing to regret. You're a girl I won't forget. And I'm still listening to hear you. You go.
It costs that much 'cause it takes me fucking hours. Fucking hours. It costs that much 'cause I don't have superpowers. Superpowers. So you need to pay for my skills 'cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much 'cause it takes me fucking hours. You need to pay for my skills 'cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much 'cause it takes me fucking hours.
Greetings and salutations from the planet Haircut. I'm not gonna lie. I usually take a nice brisk shower before I start one of these things to kind of wake me up a little bit. Wake me up before I go. Don't leave me hanging on the line, yo. But not tonight. I said fuck it. Had too many things to do, and then I got done. So I got done. So yeah, And the hair said, well, fuck you. So what are you gonna do, right? You can't fight City Hall, and you can't fight bad hair. Well, I guess you could, but I don't want to. Willie says, Willie Bragg Show, be sure to like and subscribe to his show as well. I got a haircut 2 weeks ago for the first time in 2022. Good for you, man. Did you get a haircut? Did you get them all cut? Whoa, what the hell? Who brought class into this joint? What the fuck? Queen Kira. Check her out on Chicago Corner on Tuesdays on the YouTubers and now on Rockfin too. Good to see y'all streaming in. Kira, you're a doll. You can never do wrong in my book. So, and if anybody says otherwise, they'll have to talk to Mr. Fist. This is my fighting fist and this is my loving fist. So, yeah, I know. It's it's 12:18. It's 11:18 where you're at there in the Windy City. So thanks. We got two Chi-Town folks here, you and Ed Heller, adding funk to the stream the old-fashioned way. That's right. Yeah, let's give it a shout out, everybody who is here. Thanks for stopping by for the after parties. I think Political Matrix and Beauty of the Boomer might still be going on. So hopefully everybody who's attending those soirees will, come on by here afterwards, have some fun. We were talking about some cool stuff. I was watching this video on space the other day and how I'm just fascinated by how big the universe is, as our multiverse, that kind of thing. But we'll get into UFOs and stuff like that too a little bit later. But let me shout everybody out. We got Fred Edward and Miguel over there. Hey, keeping it real on the rock fin. Good to see y'all. Who else we got here? Of course, we got Queen Kira and her lovely earrings. We gotta get you back on the show. You know what, Kira? If you're a bit of a night owl and you're a brave soul, if you want to come on sometime onto the Secret Show, this is where the real action is. And Kira's been on the main show, Extra Bulla, before, and and we had a blast. But we had to kind of keep it kind of adult, I mean, we had some fun, but we couldn't really get into the sillies like I wanted to, but on this show we definitely do that. So she got new earrings today. How big are they? Are they giant? Are they like, if you fall off of a cliff, will you be able to like take one off and kind of use it like a Wonder Woman lasso and like, keep you from falling? Is it one of those? Like, she likes them long. She likes those long earrings. I'm sure it's not the only thing she likes long. Hey-o. But, I'm not her agent. I can't speak for her. So, Kira, thank you for classing up the joint. You really do. I mean, not that it's unclassy. We have a great chat here, but now you've just like brought it up a level. So, appreciate you. They're actually fairly small. They are for everyday use. Okay. Right on. I was thinking about getting some hoop earrings so that when I get in a fight, I can go, bitch, hold my earrings. And then, and then I can, do that. So, let me shout out everybody. Hey, is Redneckonomics, here with us. Good to see you. Like I said, Kira and Miguel, the old tongue's not working too well tonight, so we'll see how things go. Ed's here, Dingo's here, good to see y'all. Like I said, Willie Bragg Show, good to see you, Willie. Willie, I saw your live show earlier this evening. A British coup you were showing, and I saw you with that bottle too. I know you probably had a little bit of grandpa's cough medicine there, so I hope you're having a good night. Who else is here? I think that's it, everybody, right now. I think more people probably pile in as the night progresses. So yeah. So anywho, like I said, if you're new to the show, be sure to obey the mighty chicken. This guy. Oh, the humanity. Why must I kill again? Why are you? It's like Berkowitz. You know how David Berkowitz had he said his dog was possessed and was telling him to kill all those people. I think it was chickens. I think that chicken right there is probably going to tell me to kill somebody, but actually it's more of a stoner chicken. So he'll probably just or he or she will probably tell me to go get a sandwich down at the bodega. So, probably not kill anybody. Willie, you were buzzed but more alert than last week. Oh, last week you were fun too. Now don't that's fine. You don't have to, oh, it was his neighbor's dog. That was Berkowitz's his neighbor's dog. Oh, okay. Yeah. All I know is the dog says, "You go out there and kill and bring me back some Scooby snacks." So yeah, it was Scooby. Scooby told Berkowitz to go kill those people. Yeah, so speaking of chickens, let's check in with Chicken City, and see how our birds are doing. We got fake Joe Shitlib, shut the fuck up Shitlib up here co-hosting with me tonight. So he's very still. Now it's a stretch. That's what she said. So what we got here? What the hell? Why is this? These are not live chickens. How dare you, internet thieves? We got like 2 or 3 down in the cheap seats. Everybody else up top. There, look at we got a little cluster to the right there. Probably Margaret Hatcher is leading that little troop of weird chickens. So are those live poop emojis? Are you high? Are you on the crack rock? What's wrong with you, lady? Live poop emojis. I don't understand what's going on here. So actually Joe's not really here. Joe's not on the show. I just see, here's the thing. All right, so let me go back to this little behind the scenes tech stuff for you. So whenever Jimmy is hosting with me on Friday nights, she's usually in the little box where Joe is. But when I'm riding this horse solo, it kind of looks weird to have just a white box next to me. I think that's probably pretty racist. So, to have a big white box like that, she said that too. Cluck out of here, Fred. So instead, to fill it, I said, "What am I going to fill it with?" And I said, "Well, I'll put Joe in there. I like Joe. Joe's good people." If you don't know who Joe is, he's STFU. This is weird. Something, add a device, tap to set up your iPhone. I don't have an iPhone. Get out of here, Ghost Tech. But so he does, he's STFU shitlib2 on Twitter, and he does a lot of cool videos. He's had some of them on Jimmy Dore's show, and he does really good editing. He's a good editor. He is, and is a good guy too. So he's fighting the good fight along with the rest of those full people like you and me out there. So anyway, enough of these chickens. Let's get back to my pretty mug. Hello. So tonight, like I said, I was thinking about, I'm talking about space, because back here, that's all space back here. I am literally sitting on my couch under a dome on the moon, and I have space aliens over here. telling me to get the hell out of the yard. So, but I ain't leaving. I'm staying here, hanging out with you guys. So we're going to be talking about space. We're talking about UFOs, the Black Knight satellite. If you've never heard of that, that's pretty cool. We'll get into all that, but first, we had one video last night from these guys. This channel called Solid JJ. Let me put that in the chat here. So if you go on YouTube and look for Solid JJ, you'll find his channel. It is really funny. He takes old school cartoon stills, and really flips them on their head. So we're gonna watch it. We watched one last night with Batman and Robin, how Robin wanted to get a gun, and Batman's like, no, you don't get a gun. He said, well, you got this cool tool belt, you know, all this stuff that you had, batarangs and bombs and shit, why can't I have a gun? You know, so they got into it. Tonight, this one is about the Flash and how his mom died, but it's a little bit of a twist. So let's get into that, shall we? Yeah, let's watch this.
Hi, Mom. Been a while. Iris and I finally got a place up in Central City. You would have loved it. And you know, the Flash, they want to make a museum. Couldn't believe it myself. I can't believe it's been 15 years since I lost you. 15 years and still no closer to finding the one responsible for your murder. But I promise, Mom, I will find them, wherever they are. I promise you.
Oh, mother and son, how touching.
The Reverse Flash, what are you doing here?
Ah, simple-minded
The Reverse
Barry.
Flash.
So quick and yet so slow, just the same. Have you not realized it yet?
Realized what? What are you talking about?
Really now? Your arch nemesis is a time traveler, and you've yet to put 2 and 2 together? Think, Barry, think.
What are you babbling about? No. You... No.
Ah, you figured it out, have you? It was me, Barry. I was the one
Killed my
who
mother?
expired your milk.
What?
When you weren't looking, I snuck into your apartment and stole the perishables from your kitchen. Then I swapped all of the perishables with the same ones from a week in the past, causing you to have to restock. You believed it to be a simple mistake, but it was me all along.
Okay, wait, hold on. That was it? I mean, I thought you were going to say, I mean, if the food traveled through time, then wouldn't it not actually have expired yet?
Well, if I went from you. Huh.
Well, hey, you know, it's still pretty diabolical in its own way. I'm just relieved, all right? Because honestly, I thought you were, you know, the whole graveyard and everything. I thought you were going to say
Maybe what? That I'd done something far, far worse? Something that would impact your life for years to come?
What are you saying, Dawn?
Oh, Barry. Unsuspecting Barry. Did you really think I came all the way here to tell you that? You think I would stop at something so trivial as that, when you and I both know what I'm capable of?
No, you didn't. You bastard!
How does it feel, Barry, to know that I forever changed the trajectory of your life? That it was I who
Murdered
ruined your credit?
God damn it, Dawn!
Yes, Barry, it was I. I was the one taking your bills and delivering them a week late, slowly decreasing your credit score until now it is suboptimal. I hope you didn't plan to buy a home in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, the evil laugh.
Okay, you got me. That one was definitely, you know, a bit worse, but Dawn, for a time traveler, you have really poor fucking timing, all right? This is just... I keep thinking you're going to tell me that
Tell you what? Oh, you finally realized, have you, Barry? You finally realized that it was I who...
Did you kill my mom?
What? Did you just ask if I killed your...
Did you or did you not?
Oh, God. You really thought I'd do something like that?
I mean, kind of. I'm standing with my mom's tombstone. You keep coming at me, telling me you've done all these terrible things.
Jeez,
and time
Barry,
travel.
No, I didn't kill your... Ah! Why would you even think something like that, man?
I don't know. I'm at my mom's cemetery. You're coming at me telling me you changed my life forever. I mean, God, you know, I thought maybe you'd see, like, killing my mom as a way to become, like, a key part of my legacy or something deranged like that, you know? Look, man, I'm sorry I came at you like that. You know, all the stress of, my mom being murdered 15 years ago and all that. I appreciate all the effort you've gone and screwing with me, Hey, you want to just call it even? Continue this another night? Ah, shit.
Yes. Solid JJ. Solid laughs from those jokers over there. I don't know how many people there are who put those together, but it's pretty genius. It's just a still, and it looks like a meme. It even has the impact font on there, so it looks like a meme, but it's a whole story, so the G.I. Joe PSA parodies, I've heard of them, but I have not seen them, or maybe I have. It's probably that's probably a senior / stoner moment. So it's like, I probably have seen it, but I was either stoned or too old to remember, which is quite possible. So, all right, good to know. So, anyway, so that was solid, JJ. We did one of those last night. It was fun. We really enjoyed that. So, I think Jimmy did. I don't know. I think Jimmy likes to humor me. I'll put like some of this old man stuff up there, and she's a youngster, so she was probably like, you know what, I'll give the old man a little bit of I'll give him a little bit of credit there, so let him have his fun. So yeah, so hopefully everybody is doing well this evening. It is 8 days away from Halloween. That's right. One of my favorite times of the year, probably my favorite time of the year. It used to be, when I was a kid, it was Christmas because you get gifts, but and Halloween was just kind of like low budget Christmas because you'd get gifts, but they'd be candy gifts. So it went like real gifts, but you get the gift of sugar and possibly cavities or razor blades, that sort of thing. And last night, we were showing a whole bunch of Halloween costumes, for if you needed ideas for Halloween costumes, we are here to help. And of course, this month is, any good do-it-yourself suggestions for mom, dad, and baby. Well, I mean, we actually talked about, like trick-or-treating safety last night, Kara. And then like there was some kids, so there were some kids costumes there too. They look pretty cute. I don't know, but I didn't see anything like family stuff though. What's going on, Ghost Dark? Good to see you. But for a mom, a dad, and a child, you have like a baby. You have like your baby is like a year old, maybe not even a year old, newborn-ish kind of. I'm not quite sure. I don't get in your business, Kira, but I don't know. I would say Les Bones, good to see you. She's a toddler. All right, so she's toddling around. I don't know. I would go with basket case, maybe. Like one of you could be like the person, and you put the baby in the basket, like the toddler in the basket, like right off your hip. So you're like, oh, you open it up, God, and the kid's like, give me some candy, motherfuckers. And then the dad could be like a cop or something. I don't know. I didn't really watch that movie Basket Case. I just like to reference it a lot. So, I'm kind of weird like that. I don't know. Kara, you should, tell us in the chat, what's your favorite Halloween costume that you've worn in the past, that you really, really liked? You said, man, this is top shelf, the best, really loved those, that costume. I told mine last night. My two were, being, Tommy Chong with Cheech Marin and being Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. And I had the hat, and I've had, like, when I was at Comic-Con a couple weeks ago, we were in this area and we were about to leave for the night, and the guy, there was like a couple of security people at the table, and this one guy said, "Hey, excuse me, sir." I said, "Oh boy, am I in trouble?" He said, "No, I just want to ask you." He said, "Did anybody ever tell you you look like Bryan Cranston?" Like, or I'll either get Bryan Cranston straight up, or I'll get, you you look like that guy from Breaking Bad. I was like, "Really? Talking about you?" Oh, okay. Sexy clown. Nice. That's like sexy and scary at the same time. Did you have the big red nose? And was it on your nose or was it somewhere else? None of my business. None of my business. We're fine. I asked too many questions. So, but God, this, oh yeah, so basically Harley Quinn, I guess, right? She's a sexy clown. That's a good point there, Les Bones. But this month is going by so fast. Like I said, this is my favorite time of year. The first part of the month, like the first week in October, is usually, that's when they have Comic-Con at the Javits Center. We go there for 4 days, and and then you get that old nice Halloween spirit throughout the month. And you got those assholes who always say, "Don't forget to get pumpkin spice everything." I'm like, oh, fuck you and your pumpkin spice. Why you gotta ruin a perfectly good month by putting pumpkin spice in everything? Why do we need pumpkin spice in everything? I don't understand that. So anyway, I mean, not that I don't really hate pumpkin spice. I just hate people talking about pumpkin spice and just talking about the weirdest shit pumpkin spice too. Like pumpkin spice flavored lasagna, pumpkin spice. Yeah, they did. They try to sneak that shit at the end of September, they're already doing Christmas shit in October too, because money, got to get that money. And I don't know, if you feel funky in the chat, put what's the weirdest pumpkin spice item you've heard of so far. Now I've seen pumpkin spice candles that smell like pumpkin spice, I guess. I wish there was Old Spice pumpkin spice. So aftershave from Old Spice that smells like pumpkin spice, and you get to say spice twice, like you're in that movie Dune. Spice, the spice must flow. Arrakis, Dune, desert planet. He is the Kwisatz Haderach. Please remind the expensive coffee drinking geniuses that pumpkin spice does not contain pumpkin. It's just the spice. Pumpkin spice lube. What? Yeah. You stupid, Poppy. You're so stupid. I sound like AOC at that meet and greet the other night. Okay, you stupid. I wish she would have done that. I wish she would have just went full on PR and just said, "You're so stupid. Why you say that? You stupid." And they go. So anyway, I love my Puerto Rican friends. Don't get me wrong. I was saved as a child when I was a toddler by Puerto Rican children. When I wandered out of my Chicago home, bored to tears at 2 years old, made it down to the park, and then some wonderful Puerto Rican children took care of me. And my dad bought them, they bought him ice cream, gave him some money too. It said, "Thanks for taking care of my ratty ass child that doesn't know how to stay the fuck home. So, oh, that's right. Listen. And then she was doing the little dancing. Man, that's gotta suck. That is really, really gotta suck to be a politician. First off, I couldn't do it. I could never run for office. I never would run for office. Even if I didn't have the skeletons in my past, I would definitely not run for office. It's the no-win situation. Yeah, it's the Kobayashi Maru from Star Trek. It's a Kobayashi Maru? I think it is. But it's a no-win situation. So let's say I represent a certain district, right? So I have to think about two things, right? Listen. Listen. Stop it. You're gonna get me in trouble. There's two things. So you have to represent the people in your district, right? Which is kind of fucked up because some of these districts are so they're so gerrymandered that they're so fucked up. Like you could have like, you know, certain people in one area and then a whole different group of people in another area. So you have to keep those in mind, right? So you have to think about the people you represent. If you're a representative, right? I'm saying like, and you're in the House. Senate, it's like the whole state, right? It's you and another senator, you represent the whole state. Oh yeah, I'm glad AOC is finally embracing her heel side like Hulk Hogan did Hollywood AOC. Yeah, well, you know, she's talent. She's a part of the CAA, that talent agency. Like a lot of those politicians are in talent agencies, you know. And they'll tell you it's like for PR purposes or whatever, but fuck that. It's like, no, they're just puppets. But anyway, so you're representing your people in your district, but also you're making decisions that have effect on national policy too, when you're voting for bills that affect everybody, right? So, you know, I don't know if I could go in there and say, hey, look, I live in a district that's all a bunch of rich people. I don't really want to represent them. You know, I guess that's why I wouldn't want to run, because here in New York, it's just like if I ran against my representative is Hakeem Jeffries, right? Who is basically the black male Nancy Pelosi, and but he represents a lot of like these rich people that live in this area, right? Because, you know, even though I do live in a shoebox, I live in a shoebox in a pretty, you know, fluent area of Brooklyn. So I couldn't represent these people. I'd just tell them to go fuck off, and then I wouldn't get reelected again. So, pumpkin spice pandering. That's nice. She wants to be a green screen hero like Zelensky, right? She wants to do the green screen, right? I think somebody cut her out of the video, and like there's like different videos her going around of her sitting on different things. I want to see where she's like sitting on a big toilet and doing the dance too. So maybe we can make those dreams come true. We'll see. But anyway, I mean, on one hand, I don't envy her position, but at the same time, she really did tell a bunch of fibs, a bunch of lies, saying she was going to bring a ruckus and she was going to do all this stuff. And then she got in and got totally corrupted. And, you know, I think the same thing happened with Nancy Pelosi too. She, you know, when she went in the 90s, you know, she was like this big progressive. She was pushing for Medicare for all and, you know, all that same shit. And then her, you know, now she's worth like over $150 million. They all go in there and get rich. Anyway, that's politics and stuff. You get that on a lot of other shows. We can talk about something that's, we want to talk about more pumpkin spice stuff. Pumpkin spice, lube has been mentioned. Pumpkin spice. I mean, I'm amazed there's not a pumpkin spice deodorant out there. You think there is? You think there's a pumpkin spice deodorant? You know, like a little roll on stuff, and you, oh, that smells like pandering. Pumpkin spice pandering. Yeah, so no, it's old, I want pumpkin spice, Old Spice. That is it. Old Spice, Miguel, does not smell like pumpkin spice. Old Spice smells like old men who have given up on life. That and British leather. Remember British leather? Yeah. Well, that was cologne though. That wasn't like, oh well, I mean, the fuck I'm talking about. Old Spice is aftershave. So is British leather. Ooh. Pumpkin spice toothpaste. Ah, now see, I could get behind that. Pumpkin spice Kush. Now, yeah, you smoke a nice fat J, and you're like, this tastes like October, or should I say Rocktober?
Fuck you, everybody. Good night.
Groovy.
Damn right, it's groovy. Here, I want to come to Chicago and hang out with you and Ed, and I want to smoke a fat spliff with you, because you cray sober. I gotta see you fucked up. Pumpkin spice pizza. Ooh, I don't know. Have you seen those on Twitter? The things. It's like I think it's called Fucked Up Foods or something like that. And they had the pizza. Let me see if I can find this. There was like pizza on, there was like Oreo cookies on pizza. That was gross. Oh God. It was terrible. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, look at this is terrible. Let me see if I can show this real quick. So yeah, look at, now that's a s'more. That's something different. But this was like an actual pizza. I don't see it here. They had like meat and cheese. Maybe is this it? That it? I don't know what that is. That scares me. Anyway, and they had one today with pumpkin. It was sushi on there. I was like, a lot of people not into fish on their pizzas, but I was like, man, I could go for that. Those look pretty good. Yeah, those were desserts. I want to say, damn it, it was on Twitter, so it's like, but it wasn't like anybody that I knew. I don't know, maybe, oh, you know what? Hang on a second. We're going to go to a place where no person should ever go in their lifetimes. We're going to go to Twitter. Because I think, Ed, you put it in one of our group chats. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, this was the, yeah, fucked up looking food. So this was fucked up looking food with the, this is the one with sushi, right? So all this is like, all this shit there is all like sushi stuff, right? So, and then sushi in the middle there. Let's see, where was the one? What is that? I don't know what that is. Let's see. What kind of shit are you trying to pull here, Ed? Let's see what this is. Oh, there it is. Okay, thanks. So this is the one. Yeah, thanks, Ed. So this is the one with Oreo cookies. Gross. Made some of my famous buffalo Oreo pizza for my man tonight, just like Nana used to make. Well, first off, your husband's going to divorce you. Oh, you put the candy corn one in there. Do you have the candy corn one too? That was even more disgusting, I think, than the Oreos. So the black circles there, you'd think they were big olives, but no, those are cookies. Yeah, I know, Miguel. That had big eyes on that too. Now let me see, because I think, let's see. I think that one was right above that. So, dear God, that was disgusting. It was so disgusting. I'm like, I don't know what your opinion on candy corn is, but I don't know. I could take it or leave it. I think as a stoner, it's not bad. If you've got other food available, yes, I would probably go for that. But candy corn by itself, not a horrible thing, but to put it on pizza, Jesus Christ. Why on earth would you do this? Holy fuck, look at this. Gross. Jesus H. Who the fuck would do something like that? That's candy corn on there, man. And you know what? That's fucked up. I mean, I like pizza. I really like pizza. And you to go and fuck up pizza like that, that's pretty fucking disgusting. So, anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go we know. What happened? So, candy corn is nasty on its own. Right. I'm just saying, like, if you're stoned though, and you don't have anything else in the house, it's better than nothing. It's edible. Now, I tell you what's horrible is circus peanuts, right? Austin Jones, hello, good to see you. Welcome back to the Terror Dome. I don't know if you've ever seen circus peanuts before, but circus peanuts is this old school candy that tastes like bad dreams and like you lost a bet that was critical to you living a decent life. So this is what these motherfuckers look like here. Just totally disgusting. They look like peanuts, but they're like marshmallow, but it's not like marshmallow. It's like if you let marshmallows go stale and then you injected it with just like cough medicine. I think, yeah, it's like a stale marshmallow. You inject cough medicine into it. That's pretty much what circus peanuts taste like. So my mom used to get these for us when I was a kid every once in a while. And every time she did, we'd be like, Mom, why? We hate these. And she'd always forget. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, I won't get these again. Next time she goes to the store, it's either circus peanuts or candy corn. Kind of a crapshoot. We got some we got garbage candy when I was a kid. Yes, sugar plus insulation caulk. Exactly. It tastes like defeat and nonsense. Just anything negative you could think of that may have a taste. That's what circus peanuts taste like. So, horrible stuff. So, yeah, exactly. Go start. Yeah, that's vomit time right there. But anyway, so I hope everyone's having a good evening here. Like I said, a week from tomorrow is Halloween, and there's this guy. He's a tour guide in New York City, but he also does live streams. His name is Dutch Maz. And today he was down at Coney Island, and they were doing a creepy crawl. So it's basically it was a band, like a brass band, and they were going down the boardwalk, stopping at various businesses along the way, and then they had like a little concert at the end, and it was like really sweet. Love this time of year. You know, I'm just so sad it's going to be over next week, and it's going to be and then October's done, so we're going to be full on into Thanksgiving mode, you know, for what that's worth. I don't really do the Thanksgiving thing anymore. I know people with families probably do that stuff. They'll get a bird or something, or, you know, if you're not into that, you know, get a ham or whatever, you know, or just go out to eat or some things like that. I've seen that happen too. Go out to one of these places that serves the family style, you know, with the Lazy Susan. Love the Lazy Susan. Although Susan probably doesn't appreciate that contraption being called that. Like, hey, I work, you know, I'm not lazy. But, you know, you get the family style. You go to, like, especially like if you go to like these Chinese joints and they serve it family style, and they'll bring out all these dishes, you know, like they have what is it? It's like shrimp with like this mayonnaise, kind of this Chinese mayonnaise stuff on there. It doesn't taste like Hellman's or none of that shit. It is, but it's like a tangy, really good, almost not like Miracle Whip, but it's like something with a little more spice to it, and it's just like, oh, so good. And they have the caramelized pork chops too. They just bring a whole big fucking plates. Anyway, I probably shouldn't talk about that. I haven't had dinner yet. After the show, I plan on going down and around the corner to the 24-hour bodega / deli, get me a Sammy. So I'm looking forward to that. But what I did want to talk about tonight, like I said, I was watching these videos on the universe and how vast it is, and I don't think we really you can't really grasp the size of it. What was the giant spider video Jimmy played? I'm not quite sure. Was that on her show? Jimmy likes to play all kinds of stuff on her show, so I'm not quite sure. If she was in the chat, I don't know if she's here or not. She might be able to answer you that, Ghost Start. But yeah, if you haven't checked out Jimmy Sunderland's show, she does that Monday through Friday. I believe it is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time, or as we used to say, specific time. And she's got a really good thing going on there, and starting to grow. She's on there on the Kerberos network there. So just give her a like and subscribe if you have not done so. She's my friend. It's called What? That's right. It's called What? And she does a really good job. She just really has fun with it, and I think she's really in her element on there. So give her some love and support. I'm sure she'll appreciate it. So how big is the universe, right? Are we alone in space? Is this us? Are the Bible thumpers correct? Are we just are we it? Are we the only life in the universe? It's kind of a bold statement. I mean, to think that we are. There's a video I want to share with you guys and gals and everyone else. I can find it here. It is it's one of these universe size comparisons. So they go from like one of the smallest units of measurement, like a plank. I think it's called PLANCK, and Pacific time. Hell yeah. And then it just to see, compare and contrast how big things are in the universe. So let me cue this up real quick. Let you see this. This is it's about 13 minutes, but I don't know. I think it goes by pretty quick. So let's take a look at this. That's a plank is like 16 times 10 to the negative 35. Schwarzschild radius of a human. Now here we go. Here's some stuff I recognize. You got neutrons, and you got protons, right? I don't know if you've I don't know if you've ever seen it. There's a I'll have to show one of those one night. It's a really cool channel. It does one of these like comparison of sizes or like comparison of like populations or something. It's something like it's something like balls or something like, I can't remember the name of the channel, but the next time we do this, I'll be sure to bring that up. But it's really cool. It'll start with like one of them was like video games, how big a map, like the smallest maps for role-playing games to like the biggest maps, that kind of thing. I don't know what a buckyball is. Yeah, these are really cool. There's a carbon nanotube. So we're still like in very small sizes here. Ooh, look at that. That's some like some Star Trek shit. Right? Look at that. What's that guy? Hello, I am a robotic spider with a D&D dice for a head. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, that looks like a D&D dice too. So now we're getting up to red blood cells. All right, now we're getting into more tangible stuff that we can actually see. I don't know what that is. British Penny. Hello. Wait, is that a parrot you can buy on Amazon? Because that doesn't look like a real parrot. I think they didn't color it. Anyway, don't worry about me. I think these are they're starting to show the dwarf planets that are out there by Pluto. Yeah, which is still a planet. I don't care if it's the dwarf planet. It's still a planet. Pluto, never forget. Yeah, the planet and star sizes are crazy, especially when they get to like Betelgeuse and I can't remember the other one that's bigger than that, but you know, it's these, and once they I'll let the video tell the story. Uranus is pretty big. So is mine. Krampus, I think, is one of those exoplanets they discovered. I'm not quite sure where that is. We can look that up, though. Kira, thank you for staying up as long as you did. And come on back and see us anytime. Well, Friday and Saturday nights. We don't do this every night, so get some, I'd say get some beauty sleep, but you don't need it. Peace. I suppose I think they speculate that it has life on it. I think, you know, they're saying it could be an Earth-like planet, I believe. Wow. That says all humans stacked on top of each other 13 million kilometers. Or as I like to call it, the last orgy I went to. Wait, what? For those who don't know, Sagittarius A is the super black hole that's at the center of the galaxy. It is not that planet from Star Trek V, where apparently God lived. That when Kirk said, "Why does God need a starship?" Anyway, so yeah, black hole center of the galaxies. That's the theory. I think they haven't been there to actually see it, but that's the theory anyway. In all galaxies, that seems to be the center is super black hole, giant black holes. Which a giant black hole in Uranus, well, you do the math. I believe VY Canis Majoris is like the biggest star that they've found so far. I mean, look how huge that is. I mean, it just like, and we've already passed the sun. You could probably put like a million of our suns inside that thing. It's just so fucking huge. So now they're getting into like super clusters of galaxies, which is kind of mind blowing too. Hey, Anthony. 93 billion light years across. That's the observable universe. That is some trippy shit. This is why I love stuff like this. This is just and now this is, yeah, just think about the multiverse if you believe in that kind of thing. So, what lies beyond? I think that's I think that's what they were that was the video I was watching. It was like, what lies beyond the universe, right? See, this is good dope smoking talk right here. So if you're light it, smoke them if you got them, or light them up, or eat them, or dab it, or whatever you do. Let's get high, and let's talk about the vastness of the universe, right? So in the vastness of the universe, right, where is God? Nice existential question right there. You believe in God and you believe God created everything, he had a lot of work to do, right? Just the observable known universe is 93 billion light years across. So, and now the light, let's see, a light year is basically the distance that light can travel in 1 year. And light travels at 186,000 miles per second. So, you talk about how can people travel from one place to the other, because we're going to get into UFOs here in just a second, which is one of my favorite. Two of my favorite subjects are UFOs and time travel. We're going to have a time travel night one night too when I'm doing this again by myself. Because I love time travel, but believing there is nothing is contradictory to what I've seen myself, right? God isn't pumpkin spice. Well, you gotta bring it back to that. If God wasn't pumpkin spice, we'd be eating that shit like all year round. But no, maybe God says, you know what? Even pumpkin spice is a bit much. Let's just keep it to 1 month. And you can enjoy that. That's fine. I was just always fascinated with, like, I grew up watching Star Trek, and I saw Star Wars and shows like Space 1999, and and then the other various iterations of Star Trek that came after that. And one of my favorite shows that I've seen recently was The Expanse. If you've never seen that show and you're into sci-fi, but you're kind of into a more realistic take, basically, what it is, I think it's like a couple of 100 years into the future, and so you have Earth, and Mars is being colonized. It's in the process of starting to terraform it. And then you have people who live in the asteroid belt. They're more like the blue collar workers. They're the they're the hard workers in the belt, getting screwed over by Mars and Earth, and the spaceships that are in that show. I mean, they don't look like planes. A lot of them are boxy because it's space. You don't have, it's a vacuum. You don't have air resistance, so you don't need something aerodynamic in space. So, but even then, that's limited to our solar system too, and mostly from the asteroid belt inwards. So, if you haven't seen that show, I highly recommend that. If you're a sci-fi junkie and you really like good stuff like that, yeah, you would have to, like, if you wanted a decent, like, if you're trying to if you want like a generational ship, like one where you're going to put a bunch of people on there and they're going to have sex and have babies, and it's going to take, like, if you're trying to go to, what is it? Alpha Centauri, I think, is the closest star system to us. I believe it's like maybe two or three light years from here. But, you know, first off, you're not going to build something that's going to go the speed of light. So even if you did, it would take you 2 to 3 years to get there. So you're looking at the propulsion systems that they have now. Oh, Mouse said it. Good to see you. Yeah, 4-ish. Okay, that sounds about right. I knew it was like single digits. It is the closest. And I really don't do justice to the subject. I'm just like I'm a big fan of it. I should get my buddy Robert Moore on here again. And he was on Extra Bulla a while back, and we talked about space and you know, various scenarios and stuff happening. So, you know, and I'm just, I grew up with Rob. He was like my first friend. When I went to first grade, he was the first person I met, and we hit it off. We both he was big into dinosaurs, and now he's a physicist. So it's like, I want to get him on the show again and pick his brain some more, especially about the, that dart that they DART that they shot into the asteroid to try and alter its trajectory. I see. Now I got a conspiracy theory about that. It's like, so coming in 2029, this giant rock called Apophis, right, is coming. It's going to make a pretty close it's going to make a pretty close. Hello, that's neat. I don't know why that did that. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. Let me get out of that. So anyway, in 2029 it's supposed to make a pretty close flyby. I mean, I say pretty close, but but the thing is, it's like, it's on a rotational, it rotates, it revolves around the sun. And so what's going to happen in 2029? It's going to fly by the Earth. Now there is a gravitational keyhole that if this asteroid hits this gravitational keyhole, it will alter its course, and then 7 years later, in 2036, I believe, it's going to come around and actually hit us, if it hits that gravitational keyhole. Exactly. You'd need to find something to warp space-time, or you'll never get anywhere, and while your aging slows, years would pass by the time you get home. Right? So, I mean, that's for humans. And that's the thing. It's like, you're not going to, if you're going to go somewhere, if you're going to go to Alpha Centauri, pack a lunch and pack several lunches. You should also be able to have some sort of self-replicating energy source on there. Like something that's going to actually push like something like, I don't know, maybe like you know, solar, or they're talking about maybe nuclear drives, or what are those ionic drives, I think. Hey, VS Adams, good to see you. Hey, everybody listening while I make dog food and slicing serrano and habanero peppers from our garden for dehydrating. Delicious. Well, do your thing. We'll be doing this, talking about space goodies and stuff like that. So for humans to travel through space, yeah, you're gonna have to, the only realistic thing you can think of is to build some sort of ship in space. I mean, it would be kind of pointless to build it on Earth. Maybe you could build it on the moon. That's a possibility, but I mean, even then, you know, just, I don't know, the logistics of getting supplies together to create such a huge ship are so impractical at this point, unless they come, you know, unless you can actually 3D print a spaceship in space, it doesn't really make much sense. But you would need something that could carry a lot of people, because it's going to be it's going to have to be a generational ship, right? And it's probably going to be a one-way trip. So even if you got to the half the speed of light, you're talking maybe like 8 years to get there on the upside. You know, but you know, we have to figure out ways to go faster than that. Otherwise, it's just going to be generational ships. But then when you try to go faster than that, when you try to go, it's like Ed said, you know, you have space-time that kind of warps everything. I mean, if you're going to go to a place that's light years away, you know, you have the theory of relativity to think about, where it's like, the faster you go, the more time passes on Earth. So if you're going somewhere, if you're going to Alpha Centauri, it's probably going to be a one-way trip, I would assume. And you better hope there's like an M-class planet there that you can land on. You know, you get there and it's like, they're all like Venus planets. They're all hot. And just like the atmosphere is so dense that, you know, you get there, it just crushes you. You know, we are, Miguel. We are literally traveling through space and time right now. It's you know, people don't think about it. We're revolving around the sun, right? And so the sun is moving through space as well as it travels with the galaxy, and the galaxy is moving in space too. So, and because the universe is expanding, or at least that's the theory, that it's expanding, and it's going to get to the point like billions, trillions of years into the future, where everything's going to be so expanded that you know, we're not going to be able to see the sun. We won't be able to see anything, if Earth is even there, right? Because at that point, probably Earth is going to be long gone. I think like in 5 billion years or something like that, the sun is going to expand, and it will definitely envelop Mercury and Venus, and will probably toast up the Earth as well. And then it could either go supernova, or it could just shrink down to like a brown dwarf, and that'd be it. But so that'll happen long before the total expansion of the universe, where everything is separated. There'd be total darkness, and yeah. And so there's expansion, but there's also deflation. I think they call it the big crunch, where they say it'll get to the point where it'll expand so far, and then it'll reverse, and then it'll contract again to the point where it gets down to the singularity again, as it was in the Big Bang. I'm an electric universe guy. Gravity is weak sauce and highly overrated. Yeah, and inflation has made it very expensive too. Mouse said it. So you are right there. So which leads us to the question of UFOs, right? So over these vast distances, how can biological beings travel from one place to another across vast distances in in just the galaxy alone, let alone, you know, subspace from another galaxy or something like that, right? It would take, you know, billions of years to get here. Because the closest galaxy to us is Andromeda, and eventually Andromeda and the Milky Way are going to collide. They've shown the models of it as they're coming together, and then they're just gonna kind of just form like this this super, not a super, but just a bigger galaxy. I think they're gonna call it the Milky Dromeda. I think that's what they would call it. But you know, that's like millions of billions, all this shit's billions of years into the future. You know, there's the theory of the electric universe, but there's also a theory that the universe is liquid too, because if you look at how things behave in water, right? Like if you have like an object spinning in water, right? And then you have another object object will tend to float towards it and get in close to that. And that's kind of like how things are in space. You know, you have planets and stars and stuff that revolve, and objects can get too close to it, and then it's drawn in by the gravity it produces, right? So, and the moon is getting further and further away from us. I'm not quite sure I think they said it's like 1/4 of an inch every year or something like that. I don't know, something minuscule, that the moon is getting further and further away from the Earth. So at some point, the moon's just gonna go rogue. It's gonna become a rogue moon. Probably end up getting caught up by another planet, maybe. So, yes, this kind of stuff, it hurt. I really don't do it justice, having a human brain and a human mouth trying to like explain, you know, my interest in all this stuff, you know, and I may be butchering a lot of these facts too. I hope not. I try to get this stuff right. But then again, it could be, what was it? Who said it? That this isn't even, the universe may not even be real. It may be just like a simulation, you know, which is quite possible. I think another thing I think it could be too, that as we look at things on the quantum level, how things act differently on the quantum level, maybe our existence, the visible universe and beyond, maybe we are on the quantum level to something greater than us, you know, maybe it's God, you know, we are like a quantum level part of, when they say we are part of God, or God is in us, maybe we're in God, you know, that's whatever your idea of God is. But, you know, it's very existential stuff, very, mind-blowing stuff. You know, but we also can't see electricity and how it moves. Well, we can kind of see electricity. It depends. Like when we see lightning, we can see electricity. But that's on a very concentrated, highly charged, level. So, life as we know it needs to meet certain conditions, which only planet Earth can provide. That's the key phrase right there, Miguel, is life as we know it, right? We are carbon-based life on this planet, but there may be silicone-based life forms somewhere else in the universe. And maybe if they're built different than we are, then maybe they have the potential to go, light speed in crafts from other places. Even then, if you're like if you're even if you could go light speed, right? Which they say you can't go light speed. Only light can go light speed. Hey, what's up, gamer? Good to see you. Happy Saturday night / Sunday morning, depending on your geography. So maybe if there's a different biological makeup to aliens, that's how they can get here. There's also a theory too that these are ancient aliens, that like the Greys are actually humans from the future who have come back in time to observe us, or that they were, there was ancient civilizations well before we ever came along that had technology, and then cataclysms destroyed them, and there were remnants of these civilizations that were able to, build craft and, monitor us in various ways. It's very crazy the way that works out. So when you think about that, I've always been into UFOs. I've never seen one personally. At least I don't think I have. I think the closest thing I saw was something in Brooklyn, maybe about 10 years ago. That was it was a light in the sky, and it wasn't a helicopter, because the helicopters have the flashing lights on there. And it didn't look like a jet or anything. It was just a dot of light, and it was just sitting there. It was just sitting there in the sky, just kind of like one of these dots behind me, just sitting there, not doing anything. And then all of a sudden, whoop, just disappeared into the ether. But back in 1997 in Phoenix, Arizona, one of the greatest, or at least one of the most seen UFO events happened. It's known as the Phoenix Lights, and basically everybody in the city saw it. And this year marks the 25th anniversary. This is a little video from kind of a news story, kind of updating it. This was from last year, I believe, but this is some fascinating stuff about the Phoenix Lights. Let's take a look at this.
Well, only on 12 News, the Phoenix Lights. Tomorrow night marks 24 years since the strange and stunning sight. Unidentified lights flying over the valley in a uniform pattern. Thousands of you saw them, and they've been fascinating us ever since. After the 1997 case, there have been dozens of other UFO sightings here and all across the Southwest.
As Team 12's William Pitts shows us, we've seen big bombshell revelations and admissions over the past 18 months or so that some think may eventually lead to answers about the Phoenix Lights.
Bright lights in a V shape, maybe a massive ship miles wide, right over Phoenix. Hundreds, maybe thousands of people saw them on March 13th, 1997.
Look at that. There's another one.
They're lined up in a pattern.
24 years later,
I got 4 of them.
we still don't know what the Phoenix Lights were.
Major sighting here.
But now a lot more people are taking them and other unidentified flying objects more seriously. Dr. Len Kitai watched the Phoenix Lights arrive. She's one of the few people with photographs of them, and for years she stayed quiet, afraid of being branded crazy.
Now that the military and the government have actually come forward to say, yes, we are studying them. The Pentagon has been studying them.
In the last year and a half, there have been some massive bombshells in the UFO community. For starters, the U.S. government says they're real, and they were researching them.
What's up, SFT?
Like these videos from the U.S. Navy. After they were leaked, the U.S. military confirmed they were real.
This is not a joke. This is real. Something. Even though I don't know what they are, I just want to know who they are, who's driving these things.
For years, there was this stigma. These were the people with crazy beliefs. These were conspiracy theorists. Now, it seems that these are the They were the people who were right.
Nick Pope led the British government's version of the X-Files. He investigated UFO sightings for the Ministry of Defense in the early 90s, something the US government claimed for decades it didn't do.
The official position of the United States government was, we have not had a UFO program since the end of 1969 when Project Blue Book was terminated, and nobody is interested in this. Well, I choose my words carefully, but perhaps we were not being told the entire picture.
But in reality, a handful of military groups have been investigating UFO sightings since 2007 and may still be doing it today.
I think people's perception of UFOs has changed fundamentally, and this whole subject has come out of the fringe and into the mainstream.
That's what we need, more credible voices coming forward.
Like the Phoenix Lights, tons of regular people saw them. Most had no special training. But a private pilot also reported them to the FAA that night. The pilot who reported the sighting? Actor Kurt Russell.
Tail.
Yeah.
Number for that plane was Bonanza 2 Tango Sierra, and I was the pilot. No way.
Yeah. He stayed silent for years, only coming forward on British TV in 2017.
We're maybe a half a mile out, and Oliver said, "Pa, what are those lights?" And I then it kind of like came out of my reverie, and I said, "I don't know what they are." I said, he said, "Are we okay here?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna call him," and I reported it.
And as recently as February, when an American Airlines pilot reported seeing something fly over his plane over New Mexico.
I hate to say this looked like a long cylindrical object. It almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing moving really fast that went right over the top of us.
American Airlines confirmed the sighting and said the FBI is investigating.
Some people can't deal with this topic. Some people don't want to. And that's okay. Everyone in their own time.
Because of all this, Kitai and other UFO believers say it's time for more people to take it seriously. They say something's up there, and they want to know what it is. William Pitts, 12 News.
Yeah, so that's the fun part of that, is the first one to report it in to, at least from the air, was Kurt Russell. I just learned that not too long ago. I was like, really? Snake Plissken? He saw the guy from the Thing. Kurt Russell of Death Proof fame. So the Phoenix Lights are a fun one. I really enjoy that one because they were trying to say, at first they were trying to say they were like Chinese lanterns, you know, like they take the little tea candles and you light them, and then you put a bag over them or something, and it makes them float up. They said that was them at first. Then they said they were flares. They weren't flares either. They were because flares they move. They don't stay in the air. Plimpton. His name's not Snake Plimpton. You're thinking of George Plimpton, the guy who used to sell I think he sold Mac computers back in the day. Can't put baby in the corner of a saucer shaped craft. That's right. It's round. There's no corners. Pliskin. Okay. Well, I was close. I knew it wasn't Plimpton, Martha Plimpton. But it was like what Mouse said. It said there was more to that, just people seeing the lights in the sky from there. There was like it was over a couple of nights and in different parts of this of Arizona too, that they spotted these huge, they said it was like a mile wide black craft with the lights, and there was silent. It was just no sound whatsoever. Just crazy shit. Denver, good to see you. He says the UAPs, UFOs need to hurry their ass up and save humanity from its banking death cult. That's right. I don't know, man. If I was an alien kind of seeing what was going on down here, I'd be like, what's that sound? Nope. It'd be like, thanks, but no thanks. We'll pass on that. Thank you. You guys are too fucked up. You got nukes and but the real, there's been sightings throughout history, like I think in the 1500s over Germany, in some sort of woodcraft, they depicted like there was like things in the air like shooting at each other. I think I can't remember the name, but in India too, they have recollections of like space, like sky wars and stuff like that. Yeah, I know, right? You picked a good night to come on to come on here, man. We could talk about this for a while. So, but yeah, so they were seeing these crafts all over Arizona, and slow moving, very silent, and huge. Saying like, it ranged from like a couple of football fields to a mile wide. Just crazy stuff. Oh, you have multiple experiencers in your family? I have a couple in mine. I have a cousin. She was living in South Mississippi at the time, and this was back in the 60s or early 70s. Why is it always got to go back to Uranus, Ghost Art? Come on. So the nuke that we sent to blast a meteor was actually a warning shot. Well, they didn't send a nuke. They sent like something that looked like a satellite, because it had like the solar panels on there, and they just threw some shit at it just to hit it and knock it off course. Be fucked up though if they knocked it off course and now it's actually going to hit us. It was just sitting there chilling, wasn't doing nothing. You just like, boom, oh, you're gonna fuck with me, huh? I come to your place now, But yeah, the Phoenix Lights is pretty groovy. That's one of my favorite ones. Another one is the Jerusalem UFO in 2011. Hey, Oz, good to see you. Great show earlier tonight. You and Shanna always rocking the house. We like to think of ourselves here as the official / unofficial after party for Beauty and the Boomer. So please, I think everybody knows who y'all are. If you go to Beauty and the Boomer and subscribe, like, share, spread the love. We're all in this together. But this kind of fascinated me, and I don't know if they debunked this or not. Maybe, but I have a couple of videos of it, and one is like kind of a close up, and the other one is different angles. So let's check out this first one. This was Jerusalem 2011. So here you have this bright hovering light, right? You're like, oh, that's a helicopter. It's got to be a helicopter, right? Something with a spotlight on it, maybe. And that's the I believe it's right over the Dome of the Rock, and then boop. I don't know. I don't think helicopters can do that. Maybe Airwolf or Blue Thunder. But I don't think, I really don't think that was a helicopter. But here's another, so you're like, well, that was all CGI, Photoshop, whatever. Maybe. So now, and I thought that at first too. I was like, okay, there's somebody's fucking around with After Effects and they did that shit. But now this is one from 3 different cameras at 3 different locations, catching the same event. So let's take a look at that. So there's one angle there. They're kind of using the there's another angle there. And as it's going down and hovering, and there's a third angle. There's a fourth angle. So there's 4 angles here.
אתה רואה?
אני רואה מה זה. תגיד, שתים יותר מדי? לא.
לא, כולנו רואים את זה.
מה זה? חמישה עיניים.
שיו!
יואו! מה זה?
אמא?
מה זה, ראית?
Yeah, that's that kind of tripped me out too. I think there's more on here, but let's see.
ראית את זה?
תראה, יש המון.
הנה, תראי שמה. מה זה?
אמא, לדור, אמא.
יש קבוצה שלמה שם, תראה.
4 different cameras, 4 different locations.
זה לא אמיתי.
Crazy.
מה זה? ראית את זה?
וואו.
Yes. Mouse said it makes a good point. Never touch the hull of a spacecraft. There was a lot of times when in these UFO incidents where they've actually landed in places, you'll see like a discoloration of grass or wherever it was, and they've taken readings. Hey, what's up, Jared? And there'd be high levels of radiation that was very offset from the normal background radiation that's found basically in everything, the non-lethal stuff. But there's another story of in Rendlesham Forest back in the 80s. I think it was 1980. This American Air Force base in England, craft landed in the woods, a lot of lights, and 2 guys approached it. They could see like what looked like hieroglyphics on it, which also is what they found on the U.S. boat in Kecksburg. Is it Kecksburg, Virginia? I think it was like this acorn-shaped craft that they found that crashed in the woods, and it had similar hieroglyphics. There's some sort of Tin Wolf conspiracy theory about how there was how the Germans had this bell. It was like this, they were trying to invent a time machine or some sort of weapon, and this was just something knocked, I think. Bell knocked, maybe that's what it was called. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure somebody else smarter than me knows. But that it disappeared, and then it went into the future and ended up being the Kecksburg UFO. And also the UMMO sightings from Italy had glyphs on them too. Yeah, so glyphs seem to be like a thing. But yeah, you don't really want to touch something like that, because as your mom said, you don't know where that's been. So, Die Glock, yeah, the bell. Yes, thank you. Mouse said it. So, I have to get you on here sometime, and we'll just talk UFOs and talk about your family's experiences with that. There was a guy, I don't know how much credence I could put into this. So I had a classmate, and she said her ex-husband had not only seen a UFO in once again in South Mississippi, and South Mississippi is a good place to find these UFO sightings too. Of course, there's the Pascagoula abduction event. 2 guys that were fishing in Pascagoula and said they were like taken into a craft. You know, that you can't really I don't know. I can't really judge that, but it's the things like stuff people have seen. Like I said, my cousin was in South Mississippi, and she was in the back of a car, and it was like a hatchback, right? So it was like, hatchback it's like angled forward, and it's just glass, right? So if you're laying in the back of a hatchback, you can look straight up, through that angled glass, right? So she was laying back there, and she said they were going through they were going down this road, and it was like one of those, like, where the trees kind of canopy the road, you know, and then there's spots that are open. And she said she saw a triangle craft, like I said, late 60s, early 70s. There was a lot of sightings in the 70s around that area too, because you have Keesler Air Force Base down there, and you also have the CB base, the naval base as well. So, and you tend to see a lot of UFO sightings around military installations too, around a lot of nuclear sites too, nuclear silos. And really, there started to be a lot more reports of UFOs since the detonation of the atomic bomb, which is, I think, is kind of a cool correlation there. But those are two of my favorite UFOs. There's tons. There's Betty and Barney Hill, one of the first like abduction cases. There's Kenneth Arnold, who coined the phrase flying saucer, or at least put it into the vernacular, when I believe he was in the Northwest too. There's been a lot of UFO sightings around Mount Rainier, so all you Northwesterners, I'm sure y'all got some Bigfoots up there, and y'all got some aliens running around there, at least some spaceships. So, like I said, around Mount Rainier particularly, there's all kinds of speculation about Mount Rainier being like a UFO base, like they go into the mountain. Some people said they've seen UFOs go into the mountain, stuff like that. You know, like I said, I'm one of these people. I'm like Fox Mulder. I want to believe, but I want some proof too. And you know, I'm not saying the Phoenix Lights or the Jerusalem UFO is necessarily proof. But both instances, none of the video was doctored. At least, you know, a lot of video experts that have looked at it have said, no, this isn't doctored. This is like, you know, this looks like the real deal. And if it is the real deal, that's just crazy. You know, now it's like, okay, used to, people would just say you were a nut, that you believed that UFOs existed. I mean, technically, there are a lot of things that could be considered a UFO until you find out what it is, because it's unidentified. If a UAP, you know, unidentified aerial phenomenon is what they're calling it now, but yeah, I'll still always call it UFOs. Going back to the Die Glock, that Nazi bell that I was telling you about, Denver's got some information here. Engineered by Nazi scientists, that was a glowing, rotating contraption rumored to have some kind of anti-gravitational effect, be a time machine or part of an SS anti-gravity program for a flying saucer. Yeah, so, and they have video of the Nazis trying to build flying saucers. You know, they were big into the occult back then. They, you know, I'm pretty sure that they've seen flying saucer technology before, maybe even up close. You know, there's Bob Lazar, who worked out at Area 51, or at least he claims to have. And there's, you know, that's kind of an argument there too, whether he's legit or not. So, you know, many mountains and volcanoes are hot spots right now. The real action is out over the Pacific Ocean. Yes, particularly off the coast of California. There have been many USO sightings, unidentified submerged objects, or USPs. I guess, I don't know if they call them that or not. But you know, that it makes sense if these craft can survive the pressures of space, maybe they can survive the pressures of the deep ocean. And if they can, that's a hell of a hiding spot. You know, we know, whether they say we know more about the moon than we know about our oceans. You know, it's just, this kind of stuff just really blows my mind. It's just extremely fascinating stuff that I could really talk about for hours. Denver says maybe they leverage Tesla's 0 point theories into practice, or 0 point theories into practice. Tesla, speaking of Tesla, Nikola Tesla, not the shitty car company. Tesla is one of my heroes. He's totally one of, I mean, he got a raw deal from Thomas Edison. He also got a raw deal from JP Morgan. If it weren't for the greed of JP Morgan, we would probably have had free energy 100 years ago. He was able to make wireless energy happen through his experiments. But Tesla also he sent radio transmissions out, right? Because Marconi is credited for creating the radio, but it's really Tesla. And I think, if memory serves right, the story goes he'd sent out radio waves, and he said he had started receiving radio waves from this object that was apparently revolving, going around the earth. And it was they said it was a natural satellite, but how natural could it be? I'm talking about the Black Knight satellite, if you've never heard of that. Fascinating story. I got a little video here. It's about 5 minutes, but it's really fascinating stuff. So let's let me do this, and then let's take a watch of this. This is some cool stuff too.
Lots of people believe in the abstract theory of alien life, but some people believe aliens have not only visited Earth, they actually placed a mysterious device into orbit above our planet thousands of years ago that they used to communicate with humanity. Sounds crazy? Here's a look at the mystery of the Black Knight satellite. First sighting. In 1954, the New York Times ran an article saying that Dr. Lincoln La Paz had discovered 2 satellites orbiting the Earth. The reason this was news? In 1954, no country had managed to launch any satellites yet. Whatever La Paz saw, it was enough to worry the Pentagon for a while that the Russians might have beaten America into space. La Paz later said he made it all up, while the Army said no such satellites existed. Still, many people believe the satellites were there, and they were made by aliens. The Tesla connection. Nikola Tesla is the internet's favorite scientist and is famous for lots of other things too, like inventing the Tesla coil, his dislike of women, and his strange obsession with pigeons.
Wait, what? his dislike of women and his strange fascination with... Yeah, Tesla, he had his own thing going. We'll just leave it at that.
In 1899, though, he made his most controversial discovery when he claimed to have received an electric signal sent by aliens. He even published an article for Collier's Weekly, subtly titled Talking with the Planets, where he theorized the signal was from Mars. Modern conspiracy theorists, however, believe Tesla was actually intercepting a message from the Black Knight satellite. The next communication. According to Vice, in 1927, a Norwegian engineer named Jørgen Hals was listening to radio signals when he noticed that some of them had a strange echo. Despite turning to other physicists for help, Hals could never explain these long-delayed radio echoes, but some believe the answer is pretty obvious. Space race sighting. By the end of the 1950s, the space race was in full swing, and both the US and USSR had managed to put satellites in orbit. But according to Skeptoid, on February 11, 1960, a radar used by the US Navy picked up the presence of a strange, dark, tumbling object that didn't belong to either country. Americans freaked out, worried that it was a new Soviet satellite, but
Wait a minute, that's a brownie.
Time magazine announced it was just an innocent piece of space junk. However, thanks to declassified documents, we now know that it was a cover-up, as it was actually an American spy satellite doing reconnaissance on Russia. But is that just another layer to the deeper cover-up of the Black Knight satellite? The lost tape. Even the French managed to get in on the conspiracy action. In 1961, a scientist named Jacques Vallée made a startling discovery. There was a bright, unidentified object in retrograde, meaning it was moving in the opposite direction of Earth's rotation. The technology to put satellites in retrograde is available to humanity now, but didn't exist at the time. When Vallée showed a recording of his findings, though, his superior confiscated the tape and erased the footage. Nobody knows why, but some people believe it's because the lost tape showed proof of the existence of the Black Knight satellite. Or maybe...
Okay, now that's just silly.
An astronaut's alleged sighting. Mercury 7 astronaut Gordon Cooper would seem to be a reliable source, so many conspiracy theorists put great stock in the rumor that Cooper saw the Black Knight satellite while orbiting the Earth. Allegedly, up to 100 more people on Earth even saw the satellite on their radar while tracking Cooper's flight.
Gordon Cooper also claims to have seen he was can't remember what Air Force base he was at, but he claims that they not only had a UFO on the base, that they actually filmed it, but then of course the film got into the hands of the top brass, and I guess it got buried. So I mean, you can take you could take what Gordon Cooper says with a grain of salt, but you know, he was like a pretty distinguished guy back then in the 50s, before we, you know, started sending satellites up and started going to the moon.
Problem though, according to Skeptoid, Cooper was adamant that his sighting of the Black Knight was made up by UFO fanatics. So what's the truth? Only the aliens know for sure. The people of Epsilon Boötis. In the 1970s, science fiction author Duncan Lennon took those radio echoes Jürgen Hals discovered in the 1920s and mapped them against constellations. He concluded that the signals were from the star Epsilon Boötis and claimed the decoded message said this: "Our home is Epsilon Boötis, which is a double star. We live on the 6th planet of 7. Check that, the 6th of 7 counting outwards from the sun, which is the larger of the two stars. Our 6th planet has 1 moon. Our 4th planet has 3. Our 1st and 3rd planet each have 1. Our probe is in the orbit of your moon." Lennon later withdrew his claims, but theorists believe the mention of a probe orbiting the moon is actually talking about the Black Knight satellite orbiting Earth. Recent sightings. In 1998, the crew of Space Shuttle Endeavour photographed something in orbit that looked very similar to other images of the alleged Black Knight satellite. However, it was concluded that it was probably just a thermal blanket that had been lost in space. In 2015, there were at least 2 sightings, including an object passing in front of the moon and footage of the satellite hovering over Florida before disappearing. And in April 2017, there was footage released to tabloids that supposedly showed an Illuminati rocket blowing up the Black Knight satellite. The jury is still out on this one, but one thing is for sure: if that rocket was fired by the person who actually killed JFK, we could finally be close to getting some real answers. Thanks for watching. Click the grunge icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff.
Yeah, that guy got jokes. But yeah, Black Knight satellite, that's a fun one too. Yeah, you never heard of that, Denver? Not a lot of people have heard of a lot of these things. Like I said, I'm always sticking my nose down the rabbit hole. Usually the rabbit says, hey buddy, my eyes are up here, and stop whatever you're doing. But stuff like that fascinates me. I mean, Tesla, that's a good little subject for another night too, just to talk about Tesla and some of the crazy shit that he invented. You know, he died. The 40s was a really crazy time for that kind of stuff. Like the UFOs started popping up all over the place. You know, you had Roswell. You know, Tesla died broken alone in the New Yorker hotel. And I always wanted to go there. I wanted to, if I had any money to blow, I wanted to rent the Tesla room to see if that room is still there, for one thing, and just to go in there and see, you know, crazy vibes. Oh, he died on your birthday, January 6th. Yes, I'm January 15th. We January babies. But yeah, and so a lot of his papers went missing, and God knows what happened to them. Were they, you know, are we seeing some of the technology today? Was that Tesla's, you know, was that Tesla's work that was stolen? You know, a lot of stuff, they say, a lot of technology that we see, usually the military's had it for like 10 years. Yeah, the New Yorker hotel in Manhattan is where he died. And I mean, there's a lot of, you know, you can rack your brain, and like I said, you can go down these rabbit holes and, you know, wonder about what's actually going on, what, you know, the government is, you know, the government is keeping all kinds of secrets from us. They probably know who, they definitely know who killed Kennedy. I mean, come on. And if you know, the last couple 3 years haven't proven to you that the government lies to you on the regular and wants to, you know, pushes that propaganda to make you believe whatever they want you to believe at the moment, you know, whatever pushes their agenda, you know, and that's not just, you know, just with like, you know, the jibby jab stuff. It's like everything, you know, and as technology progresses, you know, they're able to, you know, surveil us more, and, you know, they want to put chips in us at some point. They say they don't, but they do. They want to be able to keep track of you. And, you know, that's some scary stuff, you know, so we always got to fight against that kind of stuff. Any kind of censorship, even if some asshole says some shit that you don't like, you know, they still have the right to say it. You know, it's, and now people just saying innocuous stuff that's just nothing. It's being, and it just, if a group of people don't like you, they will come after you and try and get you censored. You know, and it's, so if they're keeping these secrets about stuff like that, you know, what secrets are they keeping about maybe alien life? You know, I know they had disclosure recently, you know, with the military coming forward and saying, you know, talking about their experiences and whatnot, but I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's probably a whole lot more that we don't know about. Maybe there's alien technology that's being used that we don't know. Maybe cell phones are alien technology, you know, and maybe it could be, who knows? I mean, I'm just speculating, but I just find it fascinating, you know, and I was, like I said, I was watching a couple of videos about the universe and how vast it is. You can't really wrap your head around, you know, 94 billion light years, you know, and then there's voids in space where there's like practically no stars whatsoever, right? Just these huge swaths, light years and light years separating one another. You know, what's there? You know, is there an actual edge to the universe, you know, or does it go on forever? Are there multiple universes, right? Is there a multiverse? You know, if the universe, and they were theorizing, and they were talking about this on this video the other day, very long video. It was feature length, like an hour 30, almost 2 hours, but so good. Like if the universe is infinite, then that means there's infinite possibilities, for like anything's possible, right? Anything, like there could be like an infinite number of Earths out there that we don't know about. But what if it's not? What if it's not infinite? What if there is you know, what if we're in a giant bubble amongst an infinite number of bubbles of other universes out there? You know, how is the universe made? What created the Big Bang? You know, there's some think it's like a black, you know, like the other end of a black hole, maybe in another universe or something. You know, nobody knows all the answers to any of that kind of stuff, but it's just so it's good exercise for your brain to think about that, you know, to make your brain a little bit bigger, kind of use it when, you know, because a lot of people these days are not using their brains. So it's good to exercise your brain like that. So I hope you enjoyed all of that. I like I said, we'll probably do this again at some point. I know some people are not into the space stuff, you know, they want to hear more of the pop culture stuff. That's fine. You know, we'll probably get, I like to have Jimmy on for that. She's my pop culture expert. So she, just as a reminder, so she's not going to have a show on Monday, but she'll be back on Tuesday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Kerberos, formerly known as KRTD. That's 10 to 2 Pacific time, I believe 1 to 5 here on the East Coast, and just figure out the math for everything else. So 10, 11, 12, 1, I think that's how it works. So last night we did a little fun poll, because now it's like I have a small channel still. It fluctuates. It's like one day it's 269 subs, one day it's 270. It just keeps going back and forth and back and forth. But they had this new feature now where like small channels like mine can actually put up polls and stuff like that. So we put up this poll last night. Basically it was let's see if we can get this a little closer. So I said, what do you want to see more of on The Secret Show? I said Jimmy Sunderland, Jesse Jett, Big Bad Crab. It's supposed to be Big Mad Crab. Sorry, Greg, but you are big and bad. And Stupid Stuff. So right now, Stupid Stuff is winning, and Jimmy is in second place. So we'll see how that works out. We'll definitely get Jimmy at least once a week here. So I don't know about twice a week. I don't think she can handle me twice a week. Not a lot of people can. I'm kind of I'm kind of like that. So yeah, unlock polls. It's pretty cool. Maybe BBC. Oh, that's right. You're stupid. You so stupid, Poppy. All your typos are belong. Wait a minute. All your typos are belong to autocorrect. I said it. Are you a bot? What the hell, man? Bleep bloop. I'm just kidding. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, you can do. I think you can put up pictures. You can do an image. Let's see here. Let's put that back up there. So yeah, like you can put up a picture. You know, like you could say caption this or whatever. You could do an image poll, a text poll, and then you can put up a video too. So good on YouTube for doing some fun stuff. Yes, Willie, Jimmy is based. She's a sweetheart. Jimmy is one of my many future ex-wives too. Even though she's married, I predict she'll get a divorce. She'll marry me, and then she'll get a quickie divorce, probably in Tijuana. That's just my guess. I mean, I could be wrong. So anyway, I guess it's 2:22 here. Probably time to go. Like I said, I could talk about space stuff and UFO stuff like forever, you know, infinitely, as the universe may or may not be. So, but I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. Denver, Good to see you on the rock fin there. Fred Edward. Always a pleasure to see you. Of course, Willie Bragg. Willie, make sure you, I always say this, I love Willie's show. He has a great show on YouTube. Be sure to check him out. Just look for Willie Bragg Show on YouTube. Give him a like and a subscribe. Mouse Edit, thanks for hanging out with us. Les Bones as well, one of our producers. Good to see you. Miguel, SFT, and Anthony. Go Start. Who else we got in the mix? Did I say SFT? I said SFT. I always forget. I have my stoner brain. I scroll up and I'm looking at names and I'm like, did I say this person's name? Jared, good to see you. Oz, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Kira, I know you were already Betty Bye time for you. So, but thanks for hanging out for as long as you did. VS Adams, appreciate you. Ed Heller, I know he went Betty Bye too. Ed doesn't stay up too late. He's an old man like me, but I'm kind of a night owl, sort of, or at least I used to be. I'm trying to get back into it again. I like the nightlife. I like to boogie on the disco. Oh yeah. I think I got everybody. I think maybe Dolores popped in and said hi. Not quite sure. Anywho, I think I got everybody. Oh, Austin Jones, thank you so much. And you know, tonight went by pretty quick. I thought, you know what? I want to do something about space and UFOs and some fun stuff in between. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stretch this out. I mean, I guess with my rambling and my mumbling, I managed to get that done. But we got 8 people watching on the Rockfin. Good to see all of y'all. Joe. We were talking about you earlier, Joe. Joe, you're here. You said, damn, just missed you. No, Joe. Let me look up here, brother. Look at right at the top of the screen. Right. Let's see. Wait a minute. There you are. You're always with us, Joe. Joe is shut the fuck up shitlib 2 on Twitter. Does great video editing. And he's an awesome person too. So check him out on Twitter. Check out his videos, like and share them. As far as the eye can see, because he does good work. So anyway, so next week, next Friday and Saturday, I don't know if Jimmy's going to be with me or not on Friday. She said something about punishing her child by taking her trick-or-treating, which doesn't sound like a punishment, but when you're 14 years old and your mom's still taking you trick-or-treating, then I guess that is kind of a punishment, I guess. So she may be doing that. Thank you, VS Adams. You are awesome sauce, as the kids used to say. Now those kids are grown up and probably don't say that shit anymore. But we're going to try and be back here next Friday and Saturday night. Same bat time, same bat channel. So coming up this weekend, like I said, we had Political Matrix earlier and Beauty and the Boomer. Good shows there. Tomorrow night, I'd say, tomorrow it is the second annual General Strike Summit. RBN's putting that on 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Figure it out for your time zone. But yeah, they were doing that today for 12 hours. Had a lot of good guests on there. I think they had Jill Stein on there, and they were talking to some a lot of folks about general strike strategies. It's and they're going to be doing some more of that tomorrow. And then tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern, my INN brothers, Reef and Indy Left, will be on for How Did We Miss That? So do not miss that if you can make it. They showcase a lot of great independent journalists and stories that, of course, the mainstream media are not covering. And then Reef with funny videos for boats smashing into other boats. It's a great show. Come hang out with the fam. I'll be there if I'm not in jail or, you know, doing various nefarious things that I tend to do that I don't tell anybody about. And I'm not gonna, because, you know, I don't want Johnny Law on my tail. But that's a story for somebody else. So that's what's going on this weekend. And like I said, we'll be back Friday and Saturday. So next Friday and Saturday, the show is probably going to be more kind of a Halloween-ish party. I don't think we're going to do a show on actual Halloween on the unholy day because it's a Monday. I don't want to do a show on Monday. Fuck that. But we'll have some Halloween funsies next weekend, so it should be fun. And maybe somewhere in between, I might do another gaming stream. I'm not sure. I'm working on that Biloxi, Mississippi map in City Skylines. I had to redo some stuff, but it looks pretty cool, so maybe we'll do that. I don't know. That's somewhere in the mix. But I'm rambling because I'm tired, and I should probably go. I just want to say thank you for people who support this show. You know, if you look down below here, you'll see the link tree for Indie News Network, where all the creators for INN are. And then you'll see my link tree down below here. So if you can donate to the show to help me out, that would be great. I don't like to ask for people to donate. It's just, you know, I like to put the link up there, and if you want to do it, if you can do it, that's fine. If you can't, just share it out. You know, because every little bit helps here. So still dealing with some financial issues on my end, and you know, trying to get some work from home position. I have a little bit of an anxiety thing being around people these days that I think maybe had something to do with the pandemic. So anyway, so trying to get that done. And you know, like I said, if you can help, that's fine. If you can't, you know, I understand. We're all in the same boat. And if you know somebody who needs it more, please, obviously, you know, help that person. You know, I'll be okay, but you know, there's others that need help too. So, and that's what it's all about. It's helping one another. Let's throw this up one more time because it's just fun.
Fuck you, everybody. Good night!
Love me some Rocktober. It goes by way too quick. You guys have a great night. Wash your ass, you know, because a dirty ass, seriously, people will know if you got a dirty ass, you know. So just, you know, whatever you do, whatever your strategy is, make those dreams come true. In the meantime, I'm out of here. We'll see you next week. Peace, love, and soul. I said hip hop, a hippie to the hip, hip hop, and you don't stop rocking to the bang bang boogie. Said up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity bee.
Shut up, bitch!